Hey Tim, hope you're doing well. I want to show you a process that can add 25 to 50,000 a month to your coaching business. So I can see you're teaching people sales here, and you've got excellent results I've been seeing on your testimonials, getting loads of people results, and you have a I think, yeah, it seems like you have a coaching program to get people into high ticket sales, which I'm pretty familiar with. So I want to show you exactly how you can market it, or at least our process for marketing it that's getting results for our clients, and see if it's something that you can install and help you out as well, right? So I see right now you're not running any ads at the moment, or I think yeah, you haven't been running any ads or actually distributing the content out there too. But you have the testimonials, you have the case studies, you have the proof. So yeah, let me walk you through exactly what you can how this can help you, right? So why should leverage this? So my name's Ayo, by the way. I run Black Star Marketing. So this is me. You can here. I've been a marketer for over 5 years now. So I started working at a few marketing agencies like GoDaddy, Unitel Direct, some of the biggest in the world. And then I started in e-commerce. If you know anything about e-commerce, is you have to be a very good marketer and very good at ads to survive in e-com, because you're playing with really small margins. Then I transition into the high ticket space, info product space, because this makes more money, right? Yeah, so you can see the results we got in e-com, but we also went and did this in digital products too. So the first time proponent a digital product for an investing coach, Stock Pickers Academy, we went up to 72,000, which is about $100,000 in just about a month and a half. You can see it here, right? We're also now doing this for coaching high ticket businesses as well. So you can see one of our clients over here. I can see 52 calls booked for an average of $97 a call, right? So yeah, and it's also helped me generate multiple six figures a year as well with my business. Now, the next thing is this actually solves all your current problems. So by the end of this video, I'm going to explain why your calendar might be empty, your prospects might be no showing, leads, you might not be getting the best quality of leads that actually can afford your service. You may have low close rates. Well, I think I think you're pretty good at sales, right? Since this is what you offer, so maybe close rates isn't a problem, or maybe it is because you're not actually getting qualified people who can actually afford your service on the call. You're talking about pixel conditioning to find the qualified people. So your content's probably getting a lot of views. I can see you're a great content creator, and these videos are getting quite a lot of views, right? But you might not be converting enough of these into high quality book calls, all right? And that can mean that your revenues is fluctuating and not growing, right? Which is confusing because you have a great offer, right? You have client results, and you may have been doing well in the past, but maybe the times have changed, right? So I'm going to walk through the exact process that I'll be using and installing into our clients' businesses to help them do this, right? So this is what you need to implement. This is acquisition and propaganda system. Now, what this does is it attracts the attention from your ideal prospects and pre-sells them before the call, right? And this fixes the problem of not enough leads. So this is our conversion system over here. I'm just going to walk you through it. So you want to be running ads. A great one that you can do, like if you want to target, a great ICP that you can target is people that are already in sales, people that are in like corporate sales, for example. Instead of, maybe you might be targeting newbies with this, which I think a lot of sales trainers are doing, and getting new people into high ticket sales. But if I was running an ad, I would probably do something like target people already in sales, but in corporate sales. In corporate sales, working for a company that's like, look, you can transition into high ticket sales, work remote, and make way more money, right? That's a great market for you to be in, because these people already have money, they're already interested in sales. You could probably sell them. You can get a more qualified ICP who would pay for your service and probably have the money to do it as well, right? So that's an idea that you could go with. But it's just, yeah, one of the ideas that you can implement. So our process is, it goes from paid ads either to a VSL page or your profile funnel, which is here, to attract your ideal audience. Now, we don't just stop there. A big problem that people have is that they're booking calls, but these people aren't necessarily qualified, or they're not warm enough, they're not pre-sold on you enough, right? So we want to use we use human psychology with AI to create the ads, right? But we also use a propaganda based advertising strategy, so that you actually get a high intent prospects on the call, which you can see over here, right? So you can go. So what makes this different from traditional direct response is, traditional direct response, you just have an ad that's going directly to, let's say, you want your pages here, like a VSL, etc. But you're getting people completely from cold here. which is not the best route that you want to get go through, right? So you want to get people into your ecosystem for sure, right? But what you want to do is you want to collect these people's emails. What you can do is to, like, create a custom audience of all the people that have booked calls or all your leads, and actually start distributing content to them on the advertising platform. So you want belief shifting content, stuff that handles objections and resistance that you probably may commonly face on sales calls, video testimonials, which you already, video testimonials from your past students, screenshots, right? The stuff that shows you as an authority or, proof. So, videos like this, for example, talk about speed or anything, talk about, high ticket sales, right? Just showing your authority in the space, or even like, how much money, you've been generating your students, how much money, videos on here that actually shows how much you're making, for example, right? These are videos that you can distribute as content prior to people, as soon as they become a leader or book the call. So they're watching and consuming a lot of content prior to the call, because the biggest reasons why people don't buy is that they don't like you. Well, not necessarily they don't like you, they don't trust you. It's trust and belief, right? Which are basically two sides of the same coin, right? Because you're taking strangers to trying to get them to close on a high ticket in in a matter of like a day or two, right? So the only the way that's easier to do that is to distribute the content so that you can familiarize yourself very, very easily, right? So you get high, so you don't just attract qualified prospects, but you're distributing content to them so that they're already pre-sold before even hopping on a call with you, right? How much easier would it be then for you or your team to close deals, right, when the people that you're coming on already sold on working with you before the call? Now, the second thing you need is a conversion system. And what this does is convert the attention into qualified, into book calls, but on autopilot. Now, the problem this solves is a low volume of book calls. So what we do is train AI setters to convert attention from that you get. So let's say, okay, we go to the VSL or the profile funnel. So if people are going to the VSL, and they book in, you want an AI dialer. And how we do this for our clients, we actually clone the founder's voice, put it into an AI agent, and it's actually really good now, right? Put it into an AI agent that automatically reaches out to these people as soon as they book a call, right? And you can do this on Instagram DMs as well. And you know how important it is to reach out in 5 minutes. So this is what AI reviewed, right? So responding to a lead within 5 minutes makes you 100 times more likely to convert them, and 21 times more likely to qualify them as a sales opportunity compared to waiting 30 minutes, right? So the problem that this solves is because when you're using human setters, for example, they can't do this 100% of the time, right? Because they're not perfect, and eventually they clock off and they're not working. And especially when you're doing it at volume, for example, when you're booking loads of calls and you're getting loads of attention from ads, it's almost impossible for a human setter to actually keep up the amount of demand, right? So when we're running ads to a profile, for example, one of our clients, we're getting 100 followers a day. Right, there's no way a human setup reaches out within 5 minutes we're getting 100 new followers a day. Not to even count all the other DMs from the people that came in like the other day, right? So we have an AI Instagram setter that so we do this on the DMs. So you have an AI setter that's trained on your conversations, that's enacting in your DMs and actually booking calls automatically on autopilot, right? This is actually booking 5 to 10 calls a day for our client, right? And just to give you a visual like of some of the conversations that has happened. So we have a message that goes out immediately after someone follows. And take note of the time as well. When this person responded, hell yeah, bro. You need to know where to find cash buyers. So this is one of our clients that sells, teaches people how to do land flipping. So this is 1213, 1213, right? And you can see when the AI responded over here, in within 2 minutes, right? And it gives them, and they respond, and the AI is responding based on what the people are responding, trained on our client's voice and speech patterns, right? So they responded, so the AI responded. You can see it's literally carrying the whole conversation and booking in calls. Now we also have this AI dialer on the as soon as someone books in a call on the phone as well, to get people booked onto your calendar. Like it makes 100 times of a difference, you know what I mean? So this is booking literally 5 to 10 calls a day for a client, literally without us doing anything. This can save you so much. How much money does it save you from actually paying human setters and paying them a commission, right? When you can just get AI to do it for a fraction of the price and do it a lot more efficiently. You know, how many more calls do you think you can book, or you have a setup that can handle literally hundreds of conversations simultaneously and respond in real time, right? The next, we have the sales systems, right? This is how you improve your close rates. So the problem solved is a low close rates, right? So I'm assuming if you're going to scale your coaching offer up, you're not probably going to be the one that's selling on every call. So you're going to need you're going to be using a team, right? You're going to be using a team. Now, before I get into that, you're mentioning something about conditional logic, right? So we have a form, we have a type form with conditional logic, and what this does is when you get the attention when AI books in a call as well, it sends them the link. It sends them the link to the application, to the VSL page, where they both go through the form. They go through the form and has a conditional logic, so everyone who's unqualified gets downsold into a low ticket product, which can be your, for example, you have a 6-week e-course, right? So you can actually charge a low ticket for like an e-course, for example, right? And this is great because it helps you liquidate your ad spend. Now, and if prospect is qualified, they're able to book in a call. Now, what this does is it trains your pixel, your Facebook ad pixel, to only go after qualified, high intent leads, right? You're training them to go for the leads because it's optimizing. That's what it's optimizing for. So when you're advertising, you don't ever want to optimize for leads. You want to optimize for book calls, and then the only people that hit that pixel are the people who are financially qualified and ready to move forward, right? Then you can book a call. Okay, and then the pre-framing. So after the booking a call, you got the contact details that is fed into a custom audience back on Facebook, and you're distributing content to these people, not just on email but on ads as well, to get them pre-sold before they even hop on a call with you. And then this is where you reach your actual sales calls, right? So you can see that our sales systems here, right? So you can see our sales systems and processes. So what we like doing is, when you have a team, we have an AI coach that actually reads all the transcripts of the calls, right? Reads the transcripts of the calls, so the sales team can get immediate feedback to actually improve their close rates. Now, this is great because it saves you time from actually hiring someone to actually fulfill this role. People can get immediate feedback on their calls. Your team can get immediate feedback on the calls literally instantly, right? So this is just to walk you through this. For example, there's our AI sales coach, and I pre-filled this with our objection handling frameworks, or transcripts from like tons of conversations, like good sales calls, right? So you can see, for example, it will actually give you an analysis, right? So this is one of the calls that we analyzed, and it gave you the score of, like, it gives you a score. It points out what you did well, and then it shows what you to miss as well, right? You completely abandoned the objection handling process, right? Ask, translate, address, fail to challenge the partner on inconsistency, right? And it will give you suggestions of what to actually say on the next call on how to improve, right? So your team is getting immediate feedback. It's literally as soon as they finish the call. I train our team. We have the processes, right? So our sales processes, as soon as they finish the call, right? If they're closed, it's like they go through the onboarding process. If they don't, they're moved into the right stage in the pipeline. The notes are left on DHL. They document it in our tracking sheet, and then they get a call review from the AI sales trainer to get immediate feedback immediately after the call, and then they have to know one or three things that they can improve on their next call, right? How much more money would this make, right? If this increase your close rates by 20%, or even just 10% compounded over time, right? How much more money can you make, right? We installed this exact system, all of this, right, into one of our clients' businesses that teaches people how to land flip. They didn't have a high ticket offer prior to working with me. They didn't actually, there was no real process for this. And what we did, boom, over here within a month. So we started at the end of November 2025 this year, and then December they've closed over 25,000 in new deals, right? So at an extra $25,000 in literally like less than a month, right? Under 30 days by implementing the same system into your business. Now, if you want to know how to implement this for your business as well, then apply for a free 30-minute consultation. Just respond to this message. I can send you a link. Send you a link to book a call. I'll show you how we can implement this, or how it can be applied specifically to your business, right? Okay, and your offer. And after the call, I'll even give you access to our AI sales trainer. Right, our AI sales trainer, and I even have one for advertising. That's our direct response advertising agent as well. That you can actually test out, that you can test out and use. So regardless of even if we work together, I'm also gonna give you give you access to that as well. As just thank you for showing up, and let me show you exactly how we can help you. Right. So the worst case scenario is you leave with strategies to help grow your business and some assets to actually implement them. Right. So I only do about 5 of these sessions on a weekly on a weekly basis for prospects. So yeah, just booking a time, and or just shoot me a message, respond to this message, and we can organize a time where we could talk and discuss how you can implement this for your business and analyze, breaking down your current offer and how it can improve. So yeah, thank you for watching this video, and I look forward to hearing from you soon. All right, take care. Bye.